Hello, my fellow oddities, and welcome back to part 2 of our golden path. Today we're going to be working on the golden part of our path, and we're going to be messing around with the tree a little bit. If this is your first time, please make sure you hit that subscribe and that like button. Also, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and take a visit to my website. I've got t-shirts, prints, and all sorts of stuff available. And with that out of the way, now we're just going to get right into it. So with today's main focus being the golden part of our path, then our color palette is going to mostly consist of some yellow ochre, some yellow cadmium, titanium white, a little bit of burnt umber, and a little bit of raw umber as well, just to get some different hues of brown in there. I also used just a little bit of Mars black here and there just to get some darker tones, but for the most part I just used the burnt umber to give me that reddish hue in the background. So at this point, I felt like there was some areas in that were lacking some of the orange hue, so I did use just a little bit of cadmium red just to bring out some of those warm tones. Now here I'm going through with a very fine tip brush just to get some of the smaller details, just using some burnt umber just to get that red hues again in there. It adds just a little bit of a different accent to it, and I find it brings out a lot of those details. Now here I decided I didn't like the look of this specific branch, so I decided to put a split in it, and I just went through with some of those same tones and added in that split. So for the latter part of this video, we're going to focus on the tree, and for this I wanted to give it kind of a mossy aged look, so I mixed up some gray and then mixed in a little bit of the green in with it, as well as a little bit of the raw umber just to give it a muted kind of green tone. And I also went in with a little bit of raw umber mixed with titanium white just to give some of the highlighted areas, and I just kind of played around with the tones back and forth on that just till I got mostly happy with it. We're going to focus a little bit more on it on our next video as well. So for the last little bit of today's session, I'm just going through with some straight Mars black just to get some of those really defined shadows on parts of the roots and parts of the darker parts of the tree. So if you've been following along, then you should have something relatively close to this. All right, if this is your first time here, please remember to make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on part 3.